Anybody print their minutes out?
Yep.
Cause I printed, these out, but I.
And then Fran,
Minutes
you
of
could,
the agenda.
the agenda, and then you can look over at mine, because I copied it to have to
Okay,
fill in.
so the only thing we don't have on it is,
We have to have public comment. Beginning.
right, but, the minutes from the Thursday, August 21st. I'm sorry, the minutes from July, I just want to clarify, the minutes from July 10th were perfect, they were accepted, they were done and put to bed.
Well, we
No.
haven't accepted because we haven't met since then.
That's correct. Okay, so, all right.
Yeah.
So,
We thought
welcome
we could-
everyone. We have no additional participants, so we're gonna go get right into our minutes from the previous meeting. That meeting was held on July 10th, 2025. And now we would like to talk about those minutes. Changes and corrections were some have been previously sent to Jeannie Agner, and she has continued to update those minutes as we have gone along. Are there any additional additions or corrections or deletions to the minutes of July 10th? Then, into hearing none, may I have a motion?
So move that we had accept the minutes of July 10th as written.
And a second? Perfect. We did have a scheduled meeting for Thursday, August 21st. However, not enough additional information had come forward, and the agenda, we decided to postpone it till this evening.
We need to vote on the minutes.
Oh, jeez. It's been a long day.
I wouldn't
7
have thought
o'clock.
about that.
Okay, I'm so sorry. We need to vote on the minutes. Fran Thomas has made a motion to accept the minutes of July 10th. Megan Andrews had made it, seconded that motion. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. All those opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The minutes from July 10th have been approved. And Jeannie, would you please send those to Duncan as approved?
I will do that.
Thank you. All right, as I was stating earlier, there was no meeting on Thursday, August 21st. We rescheduled the meeting to this evening, which is September 11th. Now we can go on. All right.
Can we now make any other?
Yes, yes.
To add or
Would you like to change anything on the agenda or?
add or delete?
Oh, those were mine. Okay, any additions, corrections, deletions?
I move that we consider the offer made by the Richmond High School Alumni Association.
Perfect. So we're gonna put that as an agenda item, correct? So we can discuss it.
Today, yeah.
All right, so what number,
Probably done with all the Browns Court stuff.
Yeah.
you wanna put it
As we
under
can
7?
discuss, yeah, that's where I think I would put that.
Okay, perfect. I also would like to, if no one minds, I would like to, delete item 4A, the review of magnitude. To be honest with you, I have been, as other people have been so crazy at Browns Court lately with all this, the fast moving pieces. I have not talked to John. I have not done a thing on it. I apologize to the committee. I would like to postpone it till the next meeting.
That's you just gave it was just where are we in the process? The
Right,
status, just the status, because this will be a topic for the next meeting or future
Perfect.
meeting. So that's
So-
what I even had that in the agenda.
and I know
So
some committee members differ with me. If we have time on our meeting next, I would really like John just to come down and sit with us. Just to make sure that I understand it correctly and that we're doing what we need to do for the next steps, because he does this every single day. And maybe give him 5 minutes on our agenda.
Oh, at least.
Yeah, so does anybody have a problem with that, if I can get him here next meeting? Now that things have calmed down?
Sort of.
Sort of, okay. Please. I just, yeah,
what's it, John?
Johnston.
Oh, John Johnson. Okay, There, we did topic number 4. That was it.
Huh?
That was number 4. That was,
Okay, perfect. Perfect then. All right, anything else, looking at the agenda that you might want to delete, change, update? Fran, do you think that Josh is actually going to make an appearance online?
Today?
Yeah,
No, I think
Okay.
that isn't that.
that we met with
Right.
him long ago, so it was just,
discussion of
Just
the meeting.
so we could
he's
fill
not-
you in what
no,
we,
That would be great. I would actually like to include it even more so because I know that you guys have had conversations with him. I've had conversations with him about a certain way to do it, but it needed to be done immediately. And so I'd like to update you guys on everything that Josh and I have talked about, because things for a while there were moving so fast that answers, a decision had to be made. So I called Josh, so I'd like to share those conversations with you as well,
Mhm,
as well as the meetings that they might have had as well.
mhm.
Okay, so why don't we just get right into it? So we're gonna start with discussions of the meeting with Josh and further clarifications of topics. The first one being finances, how much money has actually been spent out of our allocation? How will the expenditures be tracked? I don't know which one of you wants to take that on.
Well, he's tracking them.
Okay.
He's
So will you
tracking,
explain what you discussed with him?
well, I think I just said I had talked to Connie
Yeah,
and tried to get an understanding. And didn't get anywhere, and he said that he is tracking them himself.
And he actually sent a spreadsheet that he
Well-
had started.
And then I went home and made us.
Well, maybe it was your spreadsheet.
I had a spreadsheet, which I didn't bring tonight.
So that he's gonna be sure that
Yeah.
our money, the money, our designated fund, that we can see what's been spent out of it as we go.
okay,
So
so
that was the problem.
just to make sure you guys all know, so there's ARPA money that the select board has approved. Then there's monies from the lawnmower that the town spent, went to us. Then there's money,
That's kind of been, I think, put in that.
right, but I mean, there's 4 pots of money now. There's 4 pots of money. Then there's additional money from, what's the third source?
Richmond High School Alumni Association,
Richmond Alumni,
that's what we're gonna,
Then the 4th source is the conservation fund.
Yeah.
So we have 4 pots of money now that. You know, it's moving and it's going, and so,
Mm-hmm.
just so that everyone knows.
Yeah, so I'm trying to keep track of things that I know that we spent, even though he's keeping track.
good plan.
That's
You know,
awesome.
like I went and bought some stuff.
Could you elaborate, or you wanna wait till Brown's
Wait
report?
till we get to
Okay.
Brown's Court.
Okay, so,
So I feel comfortable
all right,
working with Josh
okay,
that we will know what we spent. I think the key is that, like, when I bought some stuff, I brought him, I bought some stuff at, I had the credit card from the town. And I went to Home Depot and bought some things, but I bought it out of 2 different funds. So I made 2 different transactions. And when I gave him the receipts, I wrote down, this is from the conservation fund. This is from the lawnmower
oh, good.
fund.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then
And you made copies of those?
he gave them back to me, cause I forgot to write the amounts down, and I went in to get the amounts, and he said he'd made copies, and he gave them back to me.
Awesome. So so 2 questions. Maybe for the next meeting, is there any way that you can keep us just, even if you just hand out a sheet or send us a sheet, just to know where we're at and what has been sent? If we spend anything, make sure that Fran gets copies and let her deal with Josh, getting them to Josh,
To make, yeah. And
just to make
sure-
things simplified.
So that we
but-
kind of have Josh and us
Good
Right.
plan.
keeping track. So like whatever Jean
Yep,
spent at Staples, she has to bring the receipt to Josh.
Right.
But if she lets me
but make
know.
sure you know it too.
Yeah, and
That's,
that would come out of the lawnmower fund.
So the town financial lead, what's her name again?
Connie.
Bonnie.
Yes, her. She is not gonna have any.
Fran's gonna do it.
She theoretically, you would think that she should. But I think it's to our benefit
I think
to
so.
understand ourselves,
I believe that's the best.
what
advice.
we've spent.
And I think if all of us are keeping an eye on it too, I think I was like, oh, hey, what fund did that come out of, you know? But it's gonna get confusing because we have 4 funds. So we're all gonna have to just be paying attention. Okay, anything else you want to say on finances?
No,
Okay, any other questions on finances before we move on? All right, let's go to parking, overflow parking, signs indicating parking, schedule a meeting with members of the parking committee. They're waiting on us. I talked to Trek again, and they're waiting on us to get back to him.
So this has not happened.
That has
Yeah,
not happened.
I had sort of a tentative meeting scheduled with August. And then Denise was gone and somebody else, it wasn't.
Diane was gone, I was gone.
In the end, I just said, forget it. And that we would schedule it when we knew when some of us could go.
So we were thinking, since Mary Claire and Alan Oliver had been so good about letting us know how many cars were up there on big nights, that, hypothetically, do we need a bigger parking lot? Or do we just go with what we have and make signs saying overflow parking available at the Richmond Elementary Camel's Hump campus?
But we need to talk to somebody at
Right.
Richmond Elementary. Campbell's.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, and Josh I think he had some concerns about that.
Just
Just,
can't park there during.
right, it all depends, right, it can't be during school hours, can't be when there's an event going on, so depending
I
on
think
what's,
In my opinion,
Right,
I think the
happen.
only time that it's gonna be an issue is when there's softball games going on. That seems to be the night they have the most traffic. And I was talking to some neighbors on the street Tuesday night, and they said, and they've lived there forever, the Marshalls, and they were saying that, oh my God, the streets used to be lined both sides when they had a softball tournament up here.
When the men did.
When the men. She
So-
said the whole street was lined both sides. I said, we're trying to not do that.
It was the event where they had all the cars, the softball, was a special softball or baseball event up there. It wasn't just a night that two teams were playing each
Oh,
other.
it was a special
It
event?
was some sort of different,
Right,
so how often that will happen, I don't know, but
yeah.
we will be adding, pickleball players, even if it's just 2 teams.
So
An
there could be
ordinary,
32 people, but hopefully they would ride together or walk at the most. If, say, 4 people were on each court, that's 32 if 4 people. Huh?
16.
16.
Oh, that's right, 4, 8, 16. I thought each court could accommodate 4 people.
You do, but we've got 4 courts.
Oh, 16, I'm sorry. 16, so hopefully they would ride
good
together.
job, math teacher.
Oh, my God, good. Keep me in line.
I would-
So.
I
don't
wouldn't have
really- Personally, I am reluctant to go bigger. Because it means we have to go back to the DRB.
Mhm.
It's been looked at once. John would have to redraw it. So I'm very reluctant to go bigger. And it would take up more space, and I know that when there's open houses, there's school concerts. All the overflow parking goes down into Brown's Court, so why can't it be reciprocal?
Mhm. Well, could we just need to talk with them?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That it's
And do
just
we talk
somebody,
to the superintendent?
but I don't know that it's us or if that's a Josh thing. I think that was,
Could you follow up on that? Would you mind?
no, he did, if only I had notes when we talked about it. I think he just said somebody needs to do it, so.
Right, and
But,
and
but
I
it
think
was,
that if it's the building principal or
Yeah,
if it's
yeah.
superintendent, they need
Yeah.
to know that it would be reciprocal on different times.
okay, I'll look
Because on open house, school choral concerts, all that stuff, that ballpark is full.
Well, and we kind of want them to know that whenever we get a parking lot in, that there will be, if they're used to it maybe being empty,
Right.
that there may be, maybe there's not, there won't, if there's an event at the school, there won't be softball.
Right,
But if there's an event at school and people are sent over there, they need to know that,
first come, first served.
yeah, it's not gonna be necessarily empty like it used to be.
Right, correct.
And it's gonna be a more defined parking lot.
Yeah. How do you guys feel? I mean, do you wanna go bigger if we could?
No.
Any thoughts on that? Yeah, we've got two no's here.
I don't have a strong opinion either way.
I'm in agreement with
I-
you, and if it becomes an issue, I can go. To go back and address it, or
Mhm.
the town to go back and address it,
Mhm.
cause it's just a gravel parking lot, right?
Yeah, it's just a gravel.
I think no one's.
I think Martha and I expressed concerns about the parking at our last meeting, and I think Alan Oliver did as well. And they are neighbors.
Yeah,
So if we have a plan in place that says overflow parking can go to the RES CHMS campus. And we put signs that say that. That theoretically, we've done what we should do.
correct.
If then it continue becomes a problem, then we'd have to address it.
But I'm with you, we've already gone through the steps to get this one passed.
And just on another note, just while we're on parking, the parking lot they just put on Cochrane Road, that big one, anybody know who did that?
Coles.
Richard Coles did that?
Craig Coles,
Craig or
I think
Richard?
it was Richard.
is that a relative of Craig? or-
His brother.
Their brother.
I didn't
And
know.
he's
He
the
has
one that
property
owns
right
that
now.
land up there,
Oh.
the one that floods, that's been doing all the work.
The gravel on the right hand side going down, comes down into the field.
He has that driveway that goes up.
Up
He owns
and
the-
back, right next to the VYCC.
No, on Cochrane Road.
Oh, he owns that.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that road that he has kind of tried to barricade.
Yep.
He owns that property up in there.
Hmm.
So, could someone remind me, we need to send out a bid,
Richard.
to him?
No, I
For
wait,
parking, we'll get down to Brown's Court, you mean?
Okay, yeah.
We don't have it down there. No, well, we don't. Because I
I'll just make
guess
myself-
this, the sign, and that wasn't something else. That I think Josh mentioned, or we talked about, or maybe I imagined it, that, signs like that, if we say overflow parking. It can't be a street sign unless we get,
Right, it has to be
Whatever the
within
half-
the park.
yeah,
But then
So
we could also let
okay.
pickleball players know absolutely no parking on the road.
right,
That's the group right there.
yeah.
I wonder if he does demolition.
Oh, you good. Good. All right, so are we all good talking about parking? Jeannie, you don't mind doing that?
No, I
Okay.
put my name here in the minutes already.
Is there like a facilities coordinator for
Well,
the schools?
There used
yeah,
to
it's,
be,
there,
Like-
yeah.
like that?
but I think that there's, I personally think this needs to go right to the superintendent.
That could, and I could,
Because it's
I
a dual campus.
I think I need to ask, confirm with Josh. That it's okay for
Right.
me to do that versus him do that. And I have no problem. Yeah, talking to the superintendent.
Awesome.
The new one, I'm,
Yeah, new and he could tell
Actually,
me
I-
whether we,
I'd
need or
start
not.
with the high school, the principals.
yeah,
It's a brand new superintendent.
yeah,
He doesn't know the
It's a
area.
brand
Okay.
new superintendent. I'd
Okay.
start with the
that's easy enough.
principals.
If we don't get the answers.
It's more just, it's, in a way, it's just giving them heads up.
It's a courtesy.
Yeah,
And they're the ones that send people over to Brown's Court.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, moving on, status of McCarthy boundary issue as well as the Oliver Carroll boundary issue.
Josh had either called or emailed Linda this summer, and she hadn't gotten back to her. So he was going to try and get a hold of her again. He wants to get her, the McCarthy Browns Court boundary worked out before he
Does Oliver.
does all
makes
that.
sense.
And I keep bringing it up. Has not forgotten it, but
Should we just say, Josh, we set up a meeting? She's back now.
well, we can tell him, I can tell him she's back.
Okay,
Why don't I do that?
yeah. And maybe,
Cause he
She
has
does-
talked to her, so,
okay,
and
so maybe somebody who knows her should be at the meeting too.
she, according to Josh, she was very willing and
Okay, good,
to do whatever.
good, good, good,
And
good.
when I talked to her, way back, probably a year ago and a half, she's very amenable to do whatever the town would like, but I think it's the town lawyer may be a little slow.
Hmm.
All right, I don't know, this kind of falls under the boundary issues, but if we remember 2 years ago or a year and a half ago in the spring, when we were talking about the survey that Chris Haggerty had done, remember that street is not officially named. We need to get that on the select board agenda. I mean, and
I-
just have them adopted as Brown's Court, or should we go to the neighbors to make sure they're okay with Brown's Court?
I think we got better things to do.
Yeah, I think it should just be adopted.
But if the town attorney is in the heat of it,
He's not even looking at that.
okay. Okay,
I mean, I don't think that's our focus.
okay. Well, it'd be nice to get all that stuff cleaned up, because we spent money on, in my opinion, we spent money on the survey. And all these things found out, the road's not officially named. We've got a boundary issue with them, we got a boundary issue with them. Why not make it one of our tasks and get this thing organized once and for all?
But I just think, I
Okay,
mean, it would be nice to be done, but there's so many.
moving parts right now.
Yeah,
And as far as anybody knows in this town, that street is named.
and the sign says Brown's Court.
It does.
Right.
So, you know,
Okay, moving
That's
on then.
grandfathered.
Anybody else want to talk about any kind of boundary issues up there or any questions they might have?
I will remind Josh that Linda is back.
Okay. Perfect.
No.
Next, better ways to implement projects, town management versus committee management.
I don't think we got all that far with that. They are so overwhelmed with all this FEMA stuff, and I know Duncan's gone right now, or will be, for some family issues, and I think we have to continue as we're doing for Brown's Court, but if we get to the point where we're doing stuff at Volunteers Green that involves construction, then we need to insist that it is somebody from the town that has the time and knowledge to follow through it, and not,
So
even when we originally, one of the very first select board meetings, when we were applying for, I guess, a grant at that time, I remember someone on the select board saying, well, hey, maybe we'll use 10,000 of that to hire a project manager.
Yep.
And that would be, that would be a smart thing, but
I
And-
spent
and-
time with Josh more than a year ago, when those were some of my questions, was how would these projects
mhm.
get managed once they got approved? And that's when there, with him in his office, that was where there was talk of getting a project manager.
Mhm.
And and I'm not beating my drum, Fran's drum, Jeannie's drum, anybody's drum, but this whole project. And I might be a little. I don't know if it would have been complete had one of the three of us been there. 7 o'clock in the morning, okay, this is what we need, okay, we need this, and I mean. I know you two as well, we've spent so many hours up there meeting the contractor and saying, no, okay, I need this, and then, calling them and then doing this and. No help whatsoever.
I will tell you, I think Josh is extremely appreciative, though. He said, I know
Yeah.
that's probably his job, but like Fran said, he's got
Oh, I know,
all the
he's got
FEMA and
so
everything
many.
that he's
And
stuck
I'm
with, and he's like,
bragging on it,
No,
but
but
it's just like.
it is, it's something we needed to do, yeah.
Have family and get another job.
Right.
But
Right.
and then I left for 2 weeks, so poor Fran was exhausted when I got back. But it's been a lot. And. But I mean, one day, and Vermont Recreation called me in the afternoon and said, we'll be there tomorrow to start digging. It wasn't even mapped out. So I get there 10 minutes to 7, they're already there. I like literally have a hammer and I have string and then I have a tape, and he's looking at me like I was crazy, and he goes to his truck and he's got one of those little, thank God,
They did it.
he was so kind, he did it for us. And then their questions about water came up. I called Duncan, he did not show up, but I called Keith Oborn because of the thing, he shows up. I call Levesque, he shows up for the water. I call Steve Cody shows up for the water, and then Josh came up. So I have to commend, all of them came up, or I don't know if digging would have happened that day. It was crazy. It was crazy there for a while, from 7 to 8 o'clock. But anyway,
But I don't think any of us want to go through this kind of thing if we end up, say, with a plan for Volunteers Creek.
oh
I
yeah,
don't
that's too
think any
big.
of us want to be managing that.
That's too big.
We make a recommendation and then that's it. That's our job.
Yeah.
I'll work on the playground if I need to for a little
Yeah.
bit. But yeah,
but-
not to monitor it
Yeah.
and be, who's digging, who's doing this.
It got done.
It's not,
And
yeah.
it's crazy.
Well, good job, everybody.
and
Pat
we've had
yourselves on the
people-
back.
We've had people come and like I said, I was meeting with the marshals and they're like, if there's anything we can do to help, we'll be over there planting trees and stuff. I'm thinking, you're freaking 80 years old. But they're so excited. They think it looks absolutely beautiful. They're ecstatic. They are so excited. It really, he said to me last night or Tuesday night, he said, I never thought it would come to fruition. So that was kind of exciting to hear.
Mhm.
Okay, anybody else have any comments about better ways to implement projects, town management versus committee management?
I'm just putting in here that we talked about in the future, especially with the Volunteers Green project, that we might recommend a project, that we would recommend a project manager. Our group can't do that.
Oh, totally.
That's okay for
Project,
minutes?
That scope would be huge.
But that's what I put in the minutes. Is
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
okay? Our committee, okay.
Okay, so down to the next one. Does the select board need to change the park ordinance to allow different hours for the pickleball courts that are shorter than the current specified hours? Again,
He doesn't seem to think we need to change it.
okay, good. Cause I was gonna say, why are we doing that? If we don't name the street, have that fish.
Well, I asked him that question. I asked Josh.
You did.
Yeah,
so-
and here, this was, because I copied him, stuck it right in here because I thought we might. He said, if we wanted to have the ability to assess fees for playing outside of the posted hours, then we would need to be in the ordinance. The current fees are first violation of the ordinance is $50, second violation is 100, third violation or more is 150. So I guess he thought about whether it's just to put those hours in the ordinance so that it's there, so that there's,
Then they can assess.
they
it.
can enforce something. Otherwise they can't enforce if there was a,
Yeah.
I know.
With our
I
one
know.
police officer.
So I think the
They're
feeling
giving you a
is for
badge.
now, it's gonna be a lot of trial and error.
Right, and then maybe after it's been going for a year.
If we find there are
reassess.
problems, we're we have somebody to go up there and look and see if somebody's on
Yeah.
there at 10
Okay,
o'clock at night.
so just,
And he reiterated that to me just the other day because I asked him again, because I couldn't remember exactly where we were at.
The only problem I see with that though is that if you have people who for maybe the first 3 or 4 months are showing up regularly and they don't see any restrictions or, you know, the idea of a penalty, they're likely not to read the sign if it's been changed. You know what I mean? I mean,
They will once they get the first, when they get the first smack and a little.
You mean if if we put it in the ordinance and they're gonna get fined, they won't pay attention?
but I'm saying that if we don't put it in early, that they'll read the signs and they won't realize that there's a penalty.
So when
Well-
an ordinance gets changed, it has to go before the select board, so it gets warned.
Yeah,
And
that's,
that people can come and talk about it. I don't think they can adopt it till the next meeting, and then it has to, I think it's so many days before it goes into effect. So there's like 3 chances for them to know the ordinance has been changed. Is that
Yeah,
true?
yeah.
Yeah, but what
so,
about out of town
Oh,
people?
well,
well.
just like people who park on.
yeah,
Watch
yeah,
from 'em.
yeah. Well, and that's, if we, eventually, when we get a kiosk, those kind of town ordinance
Yes.
signs can
Wouldn't
be on the
exactly.
kiosk. So even if it's just what the town ordinance park thing is, you know, they
The
don't have to
hours
know
are
that
there
it's
now.
not necessarily the
Right.
right hours.
Yeah, Jean put signs up today.
Yeah, show pictures. I bet.
On the court?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. How exciting.
I'll show you a picture when we get down to Brown's
Alright.
Court.
So anything else about the park ordinance? Everybody okay with kind of trial and error? Give it a few months, see where it goes and see if we need to handle anything differently?
right.
Everybody okay with that? Everybody? Janie, you okay with that?
I am, yes.
All right, code of ethics. Megan and I signed our form. I know Jeannie talked to Duncan. I talked to Duncan as well. I said, Duncan, just tell me straight on, is there anything else we have to do at a meeting? And he said, no, just bring it up. Make sure everyone has done their training and make sure everyone has signed their list. And I said, as far as I know, tonight, we will. We did. So, any questions at all? I thought the video was great.
That's
didn't
enough,
realize-
that's a separate, so that's a
So that's a
separate,
separate one?
yeah, those are
Okay.
2 separate things. So you just acknowledged the
Okay,
code of ethics and now
the open meeting
Yeah.
law review video. Okay, so everybody's good with
you had a
the
question.
code
about
of
the first-
ethics.
Right.
I'm still on code of ethics there because they're, sorry. On the code of ethics, when I went into, I guess it was last Friday, I brought in my sheet, my acknowledgement
Yeah.
form. And I asked Duncan, I said, I'm a little concerned about on the code of ethics, that there's something about, does a reasonable person have reason to question a member of any committee? You know, should you you know, my question is would anybody look at me and say, well, she's pushing for pickleball courts because she's a pickleball player?
No,
And he assured me that,
Yeah.
No,
he assured me that unless I was getting money out of the deal, that it wasn't.
like,
Right.
for instance, and that's a good point, when David and I served on the school board together, David worked at IBM. And because IBM paid him, and when we would talk about computers, I don't know if you know this, but David recused himself.
David.
Thomas,
Oh,
Dave
okay.
Thomas.
On the
But
select
his
board,
wife
because you
got
couldn't
the
talk, he
compu-
couldn't
got
talk
some
about
computers
buying
for
computers
in
because you were
elementary.
buying them from IBM.
Yeah.
But he would still recuse himself.
in the day.
Because he worked and he
Like brand
received
new.
money from IBM.
Yeah.
So, and that was the
Many
first time I
years ago.
really learned about code of, ethics and David, every meeting that had to do with IBM. And because he was getting paid by them, he would always recuse himself from the conversation on the IBM computers. So,
But it's different to be a pickleball player. I mean,
Yeah.
if you look
Yeah,
at the
that's-
select board,
it's
that would
what,
mean, Jay Fur couldn't talk about a bakery or something. I don't know.
it's,
Yeah,
it's,
But
if you
you've got-
were to
you've-
get personal gain.
yeah, right.
And being able to play pickleball is a different kind of a game.
Yeah. So you're good.
All right.
All right, moving on. We're good to move on. Open meeting law video review. Any questions after watching the 45-minute video on your own time? Like I said, I thought the video was great. I'm embarrassed to say I didn't know we had a new commission that you could call until I watched the video. So it was good.
We have to watch it every year.
Well, then you really have to learn on how to speed it up,
Yeah.
because
I
I
learned.
speeded it, I did,
I got all the
I
way
didn't go
through it,
really fast, but.
and I didn't shake my mouse. And it went right back to the beginning. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. I was almost done. But I figured it out. Okay, any other questions on the video? All right,
Not for me.
volunteers, green updates.
So we basically just did that. I wrote and here, that's what you said at the
Right.
beginning. We do not have any additional information. Denise will invite John Johnston to the next meeting.
Okay,
That's really it, right?
Yep. We've been
Okay.
lucky that we haven't had any weather issues
yeah.
to deal with. And it is, I mean, it's busy.
All right, so, perfect. Awesome. All right, moving on to number 5, information from select board meeting of July 21st and August 18th regarding conservation reserve funds.
Well,
We're all kind of updated on that now. That one really came from the previous agenda, that
Right.
we were gonna discuss the Conservation Reserve
So-
Fund applications. I don't know if
All four of us were there?
I
I
was,
was-
I was.
Tess, Fran and I were there
In the past,
the second time.
so,
Well, and then,
yeah, that woman.
yeah,
Tested it.
so, yeah.
and I was alone.
Well, that, yeah, the first,
Going back to the Conservation Commission with the second time.
Right. So working with them, and I have to say I feel the second select board meeting on the conservation fund. I feel like we owe a lot to Pete Goslin because he was on the meeting for a whole different reason and piped in and said, put the cement slabs underneath. And then he went on to explain where when the conservation fund came back, it got voted without the paying for the concrete. But then after we stated that the manufacturer said we should, and for liability, and then when Peter came on, the select board put it back in. And they had, I didn't even, honestly,
They
didn't know
can-
had they had the authority to do that.
Because they're the ultimate decision makers on
Right.
the money for the Conservation Fund.
So it all, I mean. And I thank you two so much for doing those applications and revising the applications. And I know there was a lot of time spent on that. And I really appreciate all the time you both spent on that.
Tried my patience.
I had to calm her down. I had to calm her down a time or two.
Jean needed to edit my responses.
She did, I saw.
It's all good. It's all
We
good.
got through it. Anything else we want to say about that? Oh, Jeannie, one more thing. I know you said that you would send a note to the Conservation Committee or.
Yes, I did, and thank heavens it got to her before all of this,
Okay,
you know,
good.
because I did it right
After the
away.
first
And
meeting.
when I left here, how did I wrote the notes. I came to the office to see, you know, how do I get them to them? Then I had to find out her address and Virginia's address. I walk over to the library and Virginia was walking out. I said, "You're not going to believe this, but I have something for you."
Oh, good. So
So,
thanks for saying.
yeah, it was just a
Because
simple
Thought that
thank you card.
Virginia has been so wonderful to help us through with the changes we need for Volunteers Green. And a personal thank you note, in my opinion, goes a long way. So Jeannie took care of that. And then she took care of one for Judy as well from the Conservation Fund Committee.
Yep.
Okay, so I think we're all done on that. And now the bad news. So anybody else have any questions about the conservation funds? About what got approved? What are they paying for? how much money we got. Anybody have any questions? Jeannie, could you just put in in the minutes,
Mhm.
just put the total amount that we got from them? I have it.
It
you
was
have
the
it too.
amount that we applied for. I just said the funds are approved for our total
Oh,
application, so I can,
Yeah, you know what, I can do it right
I
now
can find,
because
okay.
Josh sent us an email saying the motion was for this.
Yeah, because
If you'll bear with me 2 secs, I can get it
Mhm.
for you.
I left
I
that
know I could
meeting
look at
at
'em.
home and said, I don't remember exactly what they said for the amount. I wanted to make sure they had
Mhm.
said the right one.
At the select board meeting,
Yeah.
yeah.
Let's try this one.
What's it around 12,000?
12,230.
It's about
Yeah, it was $12,000 something, something.
Something.
I can find it,
Okay.
Denise. I,
All right.
Richmond ain't great now.
and this is how I,
Oh, good.
Hmm?
Okay, so pickleball grants updates. Double no. So I got an email 2 days ago, yesterday, 2 days ago. The second one has been denied too.
Yep. Well, it was a good effort,
It was a good effort.
Yeah.
and those at least weren't,
So if anybody.
they
ever
weren't nearly
sees
as tough as the.
recreational grants,
Mhm.
or anything that might be able, and I could ask Brian Godfrey if anything ever comes. If he ever hears of grants for physical education, for physical
Yeah.
activity. But it would have been
Well,
great for the.
Yeah, when we'll get down to talk about pickleball and this group and that may organize things. I will tell you, I said today, it's like, I have all the information, and if you do want to apply for anything else, here
Here it is.
it is, that I'm not, you
Perfect.
know, and I don't mind helping, but we'll get down to that.
Well, we're on the
pickleball.
topic
Yeah.
of money. I guess it was like maybe 3 weeks or so ago that I got an email from a pickleball player in Richmond saying that she was on Facebook and somebody asked what was the status with the courts, and was it a money issue, that could they start like a kind of like a GoFundMe
Mhm.
kind of thing.
Hmm.
And I think I emailed somebody and they said, well, we were going to wait until the conservation fund. We hear the results of that. Should I contact?
I just
You
think
know,
they were good for right now.
we're good, but I mean, if they wanted to, I'm not gonna be involved. I just,
Yeah.
And,
We
and
need
again,
to,
that could, yeah.
we need to wait till we see
see
what
what we
our
need.
needs
Okay.
become.
right,
All right.
but I would keep them hanging, just in case, just say, right now, we're seeing, how things come in. And
What we need.
what we need, what we'll need, but yeah. But that was a
It's
great,
pretty cool.
and I don't know. And we'll talk about it when we get down there, but I've got a couple questions from somebody who wants to buy benches. So. We need to talk about that, and we can talk about it when we get down there. Well, we're down there, I guess. Pickleball grants, they're done.
Mhm.
You've got the info. Let's move on to Brown's Court updates, and then we can keep talking
Mhm.
about this.
Okay.
So, she's come to a couple of our meetings, Maya Bave,
Mhm.
lives in Southview. She's a huge pickleball player. And she's offered to Fran to buy a couple benches
One.
or a bench for within the courts. And that's great. I said to Fran, that's great. However, someone on this committee needs to approve it, so it doesn't do damage to the court. So it's something that we want and something that's not gonna get pulled around to wherever. And something that goes with the beautiful equipment that we've put up there. I just don't want a piece of crap I personally, and I know I'm only one of our committee, but I just want if something's gonna be doing that and they're gonna donate it, that's wonderful and fantastic. But it needs to be safe for the pickleball court floor.
I
And
think,
then maybe that's what,
I was
maybe
gonna
we
say-
need to talk about this committee
committee.
that Fran and I met with today, and because
group, let's call them a group.
a group,
Um,
because that would be something that they could police.
Great,
So
that-
do you want us to
is
talk
she-
about that first, maybe?
okay,
Cause it might answer some of these other questions, and even that person could be directed,
Yeah, I
You
would
wanna
just go
talk
for it.
about okay, where is that? Friends of Pickleball.
Mhm.
Can we move down, wanna move down to there?
Sure.
Okay.
is that, because we're gonna keep getting back to there, it seems like.
Oh, here's, somebody needs to be plugged in.
Really?
Is
Battery or
there a
something?
plug
Is it,
there?
is it, plugged into the computer, or sometimes it comes loose? Like
Mm.
at home.
Is it plugged into a phone?
Sometimes when I move my laptop around,
It'll do that?
you know,
Standing lightning.
We don't need any pickleball court progress, do we? Just, it's done
Well, you're gonna show us your pictures.
of the signs, yeah, we'll get, but, yeah.
All right, so tell us about your friends.
okay, so the friends are Jane Sheridan, Kathy Gruber, Mark, whose last name I don't,
Yeah.
Schweizer, Schweitzer, something, something like that.
and Robin Claremont
Yep,
joined today.
awesome.
And they are, we talked a little bit, so we met today at 1 o'clock, and I invited Duncan to come because they're gonna have to work a little bit on scheduling with Duncan.
Did he show?
No, he's, I think
He's-
he's out of the office. He's got some family issues. He was going away. Anyway, and he also said he was really busy, so. And it was, I didn't invite him until
Yeah.
yesterday, so. Anyway, so the first thing we did was talk a little bit about logistics. Locking the court. What do we need, to maintain the court? Things like. Jane thought there were a lot of leaves on the court when Jean and I went up afterwards. There weren't that many, so, their wish would be that somewhere there was a electric leaf blower, so if somebody got up there and was full of leaves, they could have access to a leaf blower. They need a squeegee, they need a broom, and I have kind of left it up to them to get at least a broom and a squeegee. And then we talked about, do we lock? So right now the courts are locked it's like a bike cable lock. Each gate is locked. I have the keys right now. I have a lock box. That we would hang on the fence and put the keys in. So there's 2 keys to each lock. So I would. My thought is that somebody in town has to have the second set of keys. So, if something happens and somebody's gotta get in there, Duncan, the office would have the second set of keys.
Can I interrupt you for 1 second? So it's my understanding, or I'm hoping it's my understanding, that it's only locked until the trees are planted and they're open for play.
Well, we had a long discussion about that, and their feeling is from this year, lock them at night. And they're willing, like Mark is willing to take, I'm just gonna say,
Yeah.
Mark would go every Monday morning, unlock them, Monday night, lock them. And, for the month of September and October. And that we would get 7 people that would commit to a day to unlock them and lock them. And the key box would be a push button code. I have it in my car. And so those 7 people would know the code and they would go up and.
So they'd open them when we said the hours
First thing in the
are
morning
open, and then they close them
at 8 o'clock or.
at 8 o'clock.
Or dark, what's the,
And that was their recommendation.
Mhm.
And they're saying that any place they go, they're not locked, but they feel that to begin with, for now, we should lock them.
I
They,
agree.
they've witnessed already, well, some bike riders were riding
yeah.
around already and they were talking about how
Davis
they've
saw.
seen a lot of bikes,
Yeah,
and do that, but,
when,
Yeah.
when Dave was up playing softball with the seniors on Tuesday night, this father,
That was the day they got painted.
yeah, this father with two little kids on bikes come by, and the father is at a distance, and one of the kids goes right up to the lock. And our feeling is that those are the kids that have been riding on the court.
Mhm.
And we don't want them riding on the court, even though their tires might not hurt the court. They could bump into, ruin the nets or something, so.
Well, it's not even that, it's a fresh surface, and there's a lot of different people in this world now, and a fresh surface, a nice clean surface, and there's some graffiti across.
Mhm.
them.
True, and,
Well, you've got
and we've,
stuff on the sidewalk here.
yeah, well, that, I think Radiate Art does that, but we've had, that when they first put the gravel base down, and we realized somebody was riding a bike, Dave and I went up with red tape and stakes and put,
Thank
keep-
God
keep
Martha and I
out,
called.
keep out, and then, once they, put the fence up, I took some of the keep out signs and put them right by the gate and put ribbon across the gate.
It doesn't stop.
And there were still
Bike tracks.
bike tracks, but it's possibly a parent who's just,
Unsupervised.
letting their two young kids do that, but
Mhm.
but there could be other, problems. So in this group, and they're the ones that are going to be
So
the,
they'll find the 7 people each day to open it and lock it.
yep.
And the other thing is, I think because then like the brooms and the squeegees and I guess our hoses will be locked inside the fence too
Mhm.
at night.
The hoses don't typically stay inside the fence.
No, but just meaning we can put them inside there
And they
right
keep 'em
now.
Safe,
Yeah, but we
Yeah,
won't, we
'cause
won't
once
need
the
the
plants are
hoses there
watered-
once the,
right.
from now till winter, we'll probably be needing to water the trees.
trees.
But next year, we're not gonna need those hoses
Right.
up there.
Well, Josh will need them for the fields.
Yeah.
And in the spring, we might need to clean out the
Clean up,
pollen.
Yeah, but it's not like they have to be resident,
Right.
ready,
right,
ready
right.
available. So I bought 100 feet of hoses, but when we're actually planting, we're gonna need to borrow extra hoses in order to be able to reach all the trees, and their suggestion was to get a splitter. So that I don't have to, I lug the hoses all one way, and then I don't have to bring it back and go around to the other way, that we have enough hoses to cover the watering for this year.
Mhm.
So we'd have to, we have some old hoses that I think I could bring up.
I think
Uh,
we have one. I think we have one too.
Yeah, so we talked logistics about those kinds of things. How do we open? Do we have a grand opening?
Mhm.
And the feeling was wait till next year. Wait,
Mhm.
Yeah.
wait,
Well, this makes sense because we don't have the bugs worked out yet. We won't know, we won't have a schedule system figured out. And in the spring, they could have a grand opening. Those people could teach offer 15-minute lessons or demos, or, there'll be pickleball people
that we
ready to
would,
do that.
we would have a soft opening without a lot of publicity. And see what kind of issues we're having
Yeah.
before we announce to the world that I'm just very protective of the neighborhood.
Mm.
And
I don't know how I feel about granted, we're in the middle of September,
Right.
and then October, maybe the spring would be the time.
Yeah, and also if we're planting. and you grand open all the stuff. More likely some damage to some trees and people are curious and
Yeah,
I do agree with it.
you know, we gotta get through the planting, which is going to be a major effort. So,
And even that will be somewhat publicized
Yeah.
because we talked, well, yeah, Fran was
I'm gonna
talk
put-
about something on the front porch forum so we can get other people to help and so it will be,
Volunteers.
we'll update what's happening, or you will update what's happening, but won't be advertising, come one, come all
Yeah,
until the spring.
'Cause while we were there,
That was-
Tommy Cochran came. And he just, somehow he heard that we might need help. And I don't know, he must have been driving around and happened to show up and says he'll help with planting. And then you were talking to this other gentleman and his child,
Yeah,
and why?
they were just stopped, he had just picked his kid up from school and they were looking, and so the kid was asking questions and I sort of did the teacher hat, he did say, now, how, I thought they always wanted a tennis court here, and I said, well, not on the latest survey. And I said, and I don't know what the amount was, I said, in a multi-purpose court was gonna be, you know, $90,000 more, I don't know if I exaggerated, I thought that was
Yeah,
about
it
right.
was.
But,
If not more.
yeah,
Well, there was.
so anyhow, he wasn't really questioning it, he was just more asking, and then, you know, the kid was asking about, you know, how'd you plant the grass and where'd you do this, it was just a kid.
Small World Mountain Golf Tournament today in Orleans. Way up in Orleans. Somebody said, Denise, how are those those pickleball courts going in Richmond? So I have this beautiful picture that I had taken the other night, and I was holding it up and showing her. And a woman like 3 tables back comes over and she goes, was that a pickleball court that you were holding up? I said, it was. And she goes, I'm from Morrisville. She goes, where are those? I said, they're in Richmond. I said, they're not open yet. She goes, oh my God, those are beautiful. But she was like 2 tables over. There was like 100 women in the room, and it was so cute. She goes, oh my God, we need one in Morrisville so bad. We've been asking and asking and asking. So it was pretty funny.
So I'm just trying to think.
The scheduling, you want to talk about
So
how
no
that,
big opening.
Yeah.
We talked about the AstroTurf, and that is a real pain to. You have to anchor it down.
Right.
It gets moldy.
The AstroTurf gets molded.
That's what one of the Vermont recreational guys told me. And so to me, we have in our garage 2 big rubber mats with a little bit of fabric,
Like you get at Costco?
you know? So why not get 2 of those? I could probably get the credit card back from Josh and go to Home Depot and get 2 mats, put 1 at each gate. And they're heavy, they're not gonna blow anywhere, you can hose them off.
'Cause I
The,
think Steve was the one that, from Vermont Recreation, that told me to get the AstroTurf.
well, it was one of his employees that said he
Don't
would,
get it.
that he wouldn't, and
But it needs to be protected from the gravel going up on the court, and that helps to wipe the feet off.
Yep, that the AstroTurf, it, when I went to Home Depot and tried to find some, it's
in a big roll.
it's in a big roll and they didn't have any that day, and it's lightweight. And you have to anchor it
Anchor it.
every 2 or 3 inches in order to have it
Yeah, but-
stay down. So to me, if you agree, I'll get 2 rubber mats.
Awesome. 2 big
Big
mats,
door mats, you know,
Like-
they're like this.
huge.
Yeah.
Cause I have one in my shop that's huge that I got at Costco. And it's heavy and it's huge, and we've had it for years. It works great.
So that's where we are in mats. So they were concerned about, you know, if there's a lot of parking where Brian's bike trailer is going to be. Which Michael took away, but I guess he brings it back.
Yeah.
after.
Well, it's there, I think, during fall bike week and in the summer. But again, let's just
If he
wait and
parks them-
see how it goes.
I was gonna say, he's had some of those parked right at the school too.
Yeah, he couldn't park them in school this summer because they were doing a wastewater treatment, something,
Yeah.
Stormwater,
stormwater,
um,
so.
but like today, before Michael took it, it was in the parking area.
So
Well,
might always be
so-
better to do it to the left,
As you come into
I'll tell
the
Michael,
left.
because he's working every Thursday for him,
Yeah, because people are gonna park as you go into the right.
right? All right, I'll tell him to always park it on the left.
And that brought up the question of marking off the parking lot with just stakes and ropes or
Oh,
ribbon or something,
just
so
to get
that,
people used
because
to it.
like, yes.
That is-
Because they were saying, where do we park? Just these four
Yeah.
people, where are we supposed to park? What are we supposed to do?
So-
So-
So we could take the stakes that we have, or still around the court. Oh, no, now they're marking them.
Yeah,
The-
not until they
the-
dig.
The park benches, but take stakes like that and just,
Mark out a parking
mark
lot.
out a parking lot.
And to let people know, I think it'd be a great idea too, let people know how big it's gonna be.
Well, Pete probably had lots of stakes left over from the other garden lots, or tape there.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, when we meet with him on
And
Monday,
maybe we can, paint the top orange too, just to get people's attention.
on the stakes.
Yeah. Right. With red ribbon. All right, let's go back to the first page.
Well,
So-
there's
So
still this group,
they're,
the scheduling thing about
Yeah.
with the group too, so.
so they're gonna, I handed them, or they had, I had sent to them the paragraph that was read at the select board meeting as to what their responsibilities might be when I got the select board to
Mhm.
say it would be okay to have a sort of a friends. They're going to come up with their version of how they feel they could be involved.
And then they'll bring it back to us.
Yeah. And then I would wanna meet with Duncan because they've got to interact with Duncan as far as scheduling, because in the end, we were talking about, well, what if a private group wants to rent the court for a couple, like I say, a family is
Or a
having,
birthday party or.
Yeah.
Mhm.
they, right now, if I wanna do that at Volunteers Green, I fill out a form and there's used to be a fee, so I'm assuming there is a fee. So that would be the same situation. So they would have to sort of interact with each other, cause the money and the form goes to Duncan.
Oh, that's cool.
And then they would work with, the senior group to allot Thursday morning at 8 to 10.
I don't like that.
Well, it's using a scheduling app.
I
So
know,
they-
but I
so they
still
could
don't like
have
it
that-
because, you know, what if a Richmond resident came up and said, oh, we've got no pickleball courts, let's go up and see, and let's go play.
No, but if every, like they do it at Huntington right now, if the seniors use it every Thursday, Tuesday and Thursday at such and such a time, once in the morning, once in the evening, that's blocked out, but they don't have to block out all four courts. You know, there could still be a court open for the public to come
I
in.
just wanna discourage anybody who just might wanna show up.
Right, and that's what I'm
But they're
saying, there'd
gonna
be
know,
courts
it's
open.
gonna be posted. We would have a means of posting on the fence those permanent things, like Thursday morning, 10 to 11 senior citizens. Working with Brian, if he works with them to be allotted a time, an hour every now and then, that would be posted on the fence so that people would know. And it's, you know, it's like a couple hours out of a week that are sort of dedicated to Richmond people. And that's the way we serve Richmond people. is-
Okay.
Well, 'cause the senior center, though, that goes out to more than just Richmond.
Well, it's Richmond, Huntington, and both.
There've been people from Jericho and
Yeah, I know.
who are on their mailing list.
Yeah, but basically it's our area and it's, I think that's a way we are really representing the community and serving the community.
Because that could possibly be a group that would be able to donate materials and supplies
And money.
things too.
Yeah.
So we want to
I mean, that.
honor them a little bit.
So they only want a couple days.
Kathy just
It's
mentioned,
not even, it's like
yeah, an
2
hour,
hours,
2 days.
2 hours Thursday morning and 2 hours Monday afternoon or something. It's not really, and if don't have enough people to use all the courts and somebody comes up and nobody's on court 4,
They'll let it go
they
on.
play and.
And the senior center has been very receptive to letting anybody come in and play. I mean, they did have them sign, a release form, but I can remember a couple of summers ago up at Camel's Hump that we were playing outside, and some younger people came. They were new players, and they were well received.
Okay.
I've been impressed by how accommodating the pickleball players that I've been talking to, and how somebody new comes, will help them.
It is unfortunately statewide, nationwide, it isn't always that way.
But it seems like in,
Or Richmond, or
so they would take what I gave them, and which is what Jay Furr read, and write their own, how they feel they want to be involved.
Should we put them on the agenda? You think they'll be ready next month on the agenda?
Oh, yeah. They'll be ready fairly soon, I think.
Okay.
I mean, I
Now,
don't know that
they-
we have to, I mean, we're not their supervisors, the same as, we don't supervise baseball or little league,
Mhm.
or, we built the court. It's now somebody else. I mean, we're certainly gonna be there for guidance for a bit, but, I see them, yes,
Yeah,
right.
I think I would say we ought to talk to them again. And, because they don't want a lot of responsibility
Right.
either, but to
Mhm.
me, one of the things is, so they're up there playing, the net is ripped. I would look to them to be the ones that would come to the town and say, there's a problem, we need a new net. Whereas, because we're going, I might never know that there's,
Mhm.
Well, they were also hoping to get a neighbor as part of their group, whether it's pickleball player or not, but just some, to be able to address neighborhood
Neighborhood
concerns
issues.
right away, rather than let anything fester.
and so I did, the one neighbor that I first contacted, decided that wasn't anything he wanted to do. And then, I got another name of another neighbor, but I won't say the name yet. And I did finally send her an email and just ask if she would be interested in representing the neighbors. So if a neighbor down the street had a concern, they might bring it to this person, who would then bring it to the pickleball friends. Because I think it's really important that we work with the neighbors
Oh, I do too.
up there, and that's where, besides having them be a lookout for the maintenance and use of the courts, I think they're the ones that will deal with, interact with the other pickleball players. And if, I think in a previous meeting I had with them, they have said, like, maybe they might arrive at a court in South Burlington, and say the court's supposed to open at 8, and they see somebody, and they get there a little early, and they see that somebody's been playing, the pickleball players may say to that person, you're not supposed to be here. So I kind of look at them as kind of guardians of the court.
What a good name. Suggest that.
Right.
All right, do we want to move on?
Yeah,
Okay, so we're gonna go back to pickleball court progress. Materials needed to be purchased, padlock hoses, way to secure those, AstroTurf for entrance. You got pictures to show us, girl?
oh, the
For the
sign.
signs, that's the next one. And you wanted to say, like, you had talked to Keith Oburn about, he said, he's not counting the inches and the, like our.
Yeah, and he doesn't
former-
care
yeah.
whatever the wording is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So
those-
that was, I think, after our last meeting that we talked to him. But yeah, so after one moment, please.
So these
Did it-
signs that she'll show you are posted next to each gate. And they're big enough.
Okay, so if I drive in, and I still didn't pay attention to this, if I drive in, I go to the first gate on the right. Does the gate open to the right or does it open to the left? Somebody asked me that and I'm like, shit, I don't
I can
know.
tell you, because when I put the sign up, we got the padlock is on the right side of that gate. So it's gonna open up to the left,
So it goes to the left, okay.
right? Isn't that where
Perfect.
oh, no,
No.
no, I'm looking at that close-up one.
Padlock
That was wrong.
is on the left of the gate.
Yes. Padlock is so it'll open to the right. Okay, so here's the just so you can see from away where they are located. And then, oh, come on. I'm so good at this. And then that's the signs themselves that we
When did you?
approved just this afternoon after we
Oh,
met
okay.
with
'Cause
the
that was
people. I
something
just went up and attached them. So the word, that's everything that we approved, at the last meeting. It was just that I thought after we talked with them that I would go up, yeah, you have to close it. And then
That's the last we had.
yeah, go to, but
You just-
I took the one so you could see like where they look like in relation to the court. And then there's the same on the back gate, the same
Okay.
two signs.
Okay. But
And
these-
the court numbers, they're gonna put up when they
but these-
figure out what.
These signs are gonna be moved over to the door, right?
No,
No,
no, they're
Won't they
fixed
be
right there.
behind the tree?
Well, we'll have
We'll have
to,
to
we
make
talked
sure-
about that, the trees.
We'll make sure a
I
tree
mean, the
is.
trees can't go all the way to the end
Right,
anymore
yeah.
either. So that would just be, just something to be aware of. But we thought if the gates open, then the rules, not everybody walking up would pause and take a look at them. So here's. yeah,
Get out of here.
Probably just easier to do this. So that's when you're looking at it, signs are up there.
Yeah.
And then there's the closer one, just so you can see it's the rules and the hours. Are just attached to the side beside that gate and then beside the one.
Oh, honey, they're beautiful. So you did tie
I
wraps?
just got zip ties. Fortunately, remember to take something off to cut all the little extra ends off.
Oh my God, those are beautiful.
Yeah, I think it turned
Yay.
out well, and so then I just gave them the court numbers and said, you guys figure out which one is 1, 2, 3, and 4. you
And
know.
we're,
Yeah.
I mean, it shouldn't be too difficult, but let them.
Okay, so moving right along, beautiful, great.
Mhm.
So Keith Oborn, I love Keith, he's awesome.
we have a new zoning administrator,
Yeah,
I'm told.
I haven't met
We
him, I
do?
saw him, but
Yeah.
I didn't introduce myself.
We have a new zoning administrator,
Oh.
but I know Keith is training him.
Yeah, he's an attorney by trade,
Oh,
but
hope he's not to like Tyler.
Alrighty, okay,
rules
so. I'm gonna skip over tree planting for now.
It's,
Put that at the
we
end.
can't, we can't.
Oh, no,
skip
we're
it.
gonna talk about it, but I think it's gonna be a longer discussion. Installation of the 2 benches and picnic table timeline. Before we get into that, I'd like to just tell you about some phone conversations I've had with Steve Cody. So Steve Cody, I called him to say, come on, we need the water line in, we need the water line in, and all the parts came in last week. We're like, woohoo, he goes, Pete Goslin's digger is dead. He's supposed to get it back on Friday. The backhoe that he digs the water line. 'Cause
The
it-
excavation.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's the second piece of
can't-
equipment at the
I
town. of
can't call
Richmond
him
that's
water
broken.
guy. What is he? I put
Steve
Steve Cody.
Cody.
I know, I put parentheses water guy. What is
Water and
Water.
sewer,
supervisor?
He's the head
or-
honcho.
yeah, superintendent.
Superintendent. So anyway, Steve got right back to me. He said, Pete and I have been talking nonstop. We were gonna do it before I went on vacation, and then his thing broke. He's got it at the shop. He's supposed to get it Friday. Yeah, supposed to get it tomorrow.
He got
I
it,
think it came today.
It's fixed.
It went right down the road.
He got it today. Okay, so he got it back today. So, so then Steve and his wife never took a honeymoon 5 years ago when they got married. They leave to go to Ireland tomorrow for 10 days. He'll be back the following Wednesday. I said, can I put that project on the plate for Wednesday? He says, I don't know. I gotta talk to Pete. He never called me back. Do you know
they're talking, but I don't know.
if it's Wednesday? It would be,
Yeah, but which
it would be a
Wednesday?
week from this Wednesday,
From-
this coming Wednesday. It would be the 24th.
Okay, so,
I think it's at what, the 24th. Let me see. Let me get a calendar here. Yeah, it would be Wednesday, the 24th.
yeah, I think they're set for that. It's Pete Goslin has been wicked busy with the sidewalk.
Sidewalks.
And
Although I took Monday and Tuesday off.
we
Was it
did.
Monday and Tuesday or Tuesday?
One day I just. Must have been yesterday, I drove over there and caught him at lunch, coming back for lunch or something. But they are working together and, I'm meeting Pete Goslin up there on Monday at 1 o'clock to talk about tree planting and
Right,
we can talk about the water line
okay,
and the digging out for the benches and table.
Okay,
Okay.
we said that we weren't gonna expand the parking lot. Are we still putting the benches and the table where you guys had staked it?
I think so,
so,
because
yeah,
that allows us
Right.
to move it if we need to.
to expand it. if
So
we need.
they went up and they marked out where the picnic tables and the benches are gonna go because Pete Goslin needed to know because he needs to dig the footings for the concrete. At the same time, he's gonna dig the hole for the water line from the the property line of the Carroll Oliver all the way over to the fence. Since our last meeting, Steve Cody came up with this, and I might have shared, I'm not even sure, but he said, Denise, he goes, that water spigot's not gonna be safe over there, someone's gonna hit it. So it was his recommendation to, and I really, after he said it, I said, oh my God, that's brilliant, because think about all those kids and all those people going in the backyard of the Oliver Carrolls getting water.
Mm,
And
Mm.
now it's gonna be in the corner, if you're looking at the court, it's roughly gonna be in the left-hand corner of the court.
yeah,
The left-hand corner
Yeah.
as in close to where the benches and.
yeah,
that- that
he
corner.
may have to
Yeah.
shift it.
Okay, so Monday, you'll need to talk with them. If anybody can meet at 1 o'clock on Monday. We can only have 3 people, so Fran's definitely gonna be there, so if 2 of you 3, okay, I know, I can't either. I have a new client, so if you 3 wanna go, it's at 1 o'clock Monday. With Pete Goslin and maybe even my husband might show up. Cause Mike, so let me get another thing too, regarding the planting of the
Okay,
trees.
Back to the, so the
Okay.
plan for the, just so I get it in here. So the plan is to get the excavation done a week from Wednesday.
Correct. Wednesday, September 24th.
Thank you.
Or at least the water line and the park benches.
Exactly, and those definitely, or he
The
could do those
excavation.
without the water line. If
Yeah.
he wanted to bring that thing up there twice.
Well, I
He
think
could
he
do it.
wants to get, I don't think he's not gonna bring it up on Monday, it's. Pete Goslin, he
There's-
needs
Right, right.
to get the lay of the
I
land.
had extra time.
Yeah.
So, so then Fran gave me the dimensions of the pots that the trees come in. So this all, you'll understand where I'm going. So it's been a hassle because what we were gonna do is, my husband has a tractor. He was gonna go up, volunteer his time. Dan Noyes already said he would donate an auger to dig the hole. but he only has a 24-inch one. Was that right? Or whatever,
No.
12-inch, 12-inch.
12.
He has a 12
Yeah,
inch.
24, we'd be in business.
Yeah, we'd be in business. It's not gonna work. So then one of the neighbors, Mr. Marshall, and my husband said, Mike, we'll just do it with a hand auger. So they were gonna get a hand auger. Wow.
Whoa,
60 holes.
yeah.
Fran went up, she goes, let me just go dig one hole. Fran goes up, digs one hole.
But I didn't dig a hole.
And she
I
could get,
tried
she could get through the topsoil that they put on,
Not under
but
me.
then it was hard packed. So now and VYCC will help plant the trees, they will not dig the holes.
Why don't we just get a little tiny excavator from Dan Noyes?
Well, Pete,
The peak, okay, so now I'm gonna let you take over.
so must have been, days are running together, but, like, it was probably yesterday, I went over to see if Pete happened to be there, and I said, I'm sort of in a dilemma. It was probably after I'd gone up with my shovel.
It was.
Yes, Kelly, I just have to tell you, Kelly Farr's been doing some painting and I'm putting the shovel in my car and he says, I don't usually ask, but why are you putting a shovel in your car? So anyway, I said, I have this dilemma, we need to plant the 60 trees. And after 6 inches of topsoil, it's a gravel. And now we really have to dig the holes bigger than the pot size.
It should be twice the size, right?
And
Well, here why though?
we're gonna need to have some topsoil or soil to put in so that the roots will have some place to go. So that's when he said, I said, would it be easier to dig one long trench? And, wide enough, and we put the trees in and backfill with good soil, and he was thinking, well, it might be easier to just dig the holes, so that's why he's gonna meet us, to dig 60 holes, so when he gets up there with us, he'll have a better idea of what we're looking for.
And Dan was more than willing to donate the auger. So if he needs a littler,
Cause the only one that he has access is Troy Liberty Brothers, which I think they broke.
and that, I knew there was something else in the shop. So Dan Noyes would probably donate if we needed to get the little one from his place.
Troy Brothers might be fixed by now, but they were using it up here on some of the sidewalks or something like that after the big one broke. Or something to get at, so. I think
Okay.
that's it.
Well, so
But a trench, I think, would be so much easier.
but it's sort of, what, if he digs one long trench, that does allow us to put more soil around for the roots to go into, and then we'll have to see if he has access to good soil.
Pete, we're gonna need some topsoil.
I'm not gonna think it's possible.
They brought some up.
Did they?
Yeah, they brought us some, cause they didn't have enough to seed it. They did a beautiful job. I think they did a beautiful job filling it and seeding it and.
Oh, yeah, the other thing is, I went up with my scissors to cut the mat, and I left my scissors up there. and
Oh, no,
had to
kidding.
Somebody at Hale and Hardy said, well, we was at the courts and there are some scissors stuck in the fence. So that mat can be cut, and that it wouldn't take much to, you just go along and snip it, but the excavator can probably cut it anyway, but that would be the kind of thing that we discuss with Pete Goslin and rely on his
Expertise.
expertise. But we will need soil, and it's not anything that humans can do without equipment. I mean,
So
yeah,
this whole thing has turned into, it's like, oh my God.
Well, they're working tomorrow. They're not supposed to start working Fridays for a couple of weeks, so.
but by the way, the trees are in.
Oh.
They're at,
Stand up and show them how tall they are.
I don't know,
Seriously, this is incredible.
they're up like this. They're at Pockets if you wanna go see them.
Go visit our trees.
They're all on like 9 to a pallet, and Ron, because he has sprinklers and stuff going all the time will keep them watered, so it's not like they have to go with a hose to each pot, and then when we're ready, we need to be sensitive to him. To get them up there, you know, we can't say it's October that we're gonna plant them. So, they all look good.
Did you order a bill? Did you get a bill from him and pay him so it's not sitting on?
No, what they had to do, was a deposit of, I think, $500, and I had that. And I brought that to Josh, and he was trying to slip it in the last select board meeting. Well, would have been the second, when they were meeting on a Tuesday.
I mean, he's being kind enough to hold them for us.
Yeah, so he
And
was,
water
he was gonna get the deposit, and I asked him yesterday, I said, did you get the deposit? And I guess his brother Ken handles,
The
the
finances.
finances, and he said, oh, I'll ask him, but. He wasn't even sure he needed the deposit, cause he knew we were good, but he said, I have to follow procedure, and it's right to.
It is.
Does anything else need to go in the holes with the trees? I know when I had some trees, they say it, amend the soil with the topsoil and maybe a fertilizer or booster or something.
I think,
That'd be a good question.
when I go back, to Ron to give him a date to deliver, I could see, and
If we
he'd
need
probably
any
buy a big bag of something.
Fertilizer or something, that'd be a
Yeah.
great idea.
If they're still in pots, it's possible that the pots are,
Root bound.
well, yes, but also fertilized or right in the pot.
But you could add like a.
But
slope.
sure.
You guys remember George Safford?
Yeah,
When we planted all the trees on our boundary line, my first house. Go buy a 10-pound bag of potatoes, okay?
Mm,
He made me cut them in half and put the potato under the tree.
I love it.
Yeah.
Not a fish head?
Not a fish head, a potato.
Some
Like,
people do
okay.
that.
They grew like crazy.
so. You know, it's just relying on the advice of Pete Goslin as to how to do it, and then, do we wanna set a date to aim for?
Would you be able to do that after you talk with Pete on Monday?
What about the first? Are we thinking a Saturday and
I think a Saturday.
maybe the first Saturday in October? Second Saturday in
I
October?
wouldn't, I
You're getting
get
fall
it, but
forward.
yeah,
People, but
I
yeah.
wanna do it the last Saturday in September, or at the latest, the first Saturday in October, cause they're sitting, it's a responsibility for podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
The first.
Are you looking at the,
Or the,
I am
The
not
last-
available the 27th and 28th, but
I have
that's,
Trent's wedding on the
I'm not
27th.
Trent's getting married?
yep,
And then I'm in Key West the next weekend.
so
October
don't put
4th?
on you either way.
Saturday, October.
And I'll be gone then, so I think it's. Again, for the tree planting, if you got the Youth Conservation Corps and the pickleball players.
What if we had
to
two
organize,
dates?
there should be. I think you start the system and. Do
I
it, I
think you
mean,
try to do it all at
Yeah.
once and be done with it, cause then we need to set up people to water twice a week. Which I think could be using some of the pickleball players. The second Saturday is Indigenous People Weekend, isn't it?
yes, and that's peak
So,
fall foliage and.
Is it, are
usually
any
that
people,
weekend.
any of us around on the 4th? Or whatever the,
October 4th. On Saturday, October 4th, I'm here.
I'm in Key West.
Jesus, girl.
I have a friend from Ohio that we have reservations. An overnight of leaf peeping
Oh, nice.
calendar. That's
well, I'd like to try for the
But-
4th
Okay.
and see, or, and, cause the last week, the last Saturday in September is what?
25th, September,
27th.
27th.
And you're not,
and I'm both days. gone.
must be another golf tournament.
It is. The Solheim Cup, honey, this is a big one.
All right, well, a lot will depend on when Pete can do the work.
Because if they can't do it on the 24th, we wouldn't be ready on the 27th anyway.
No, the 24th is when they were gonna do the water line, right?
Yeah.
Um,
When is he pouring the concrete for the pads?
Well, let's talk
Okay,
about benches after this.
okay.
Right, so. I'm not sure we can talk anymore actually about the trees and.
Except that you wanted to update us about the BYCC people, or you got, you
No, no,
think you
no,
have,
they want a date as soon as possible.
yes, but you, and you have people lined up, that's.
Right,
that's-
but do you want me to
put that
tentatively
in
book
here.
them for the 4th?
Yeah.
Okay. I will send a note to Recnoft, and I might put a couple of you guys on it just in case, cause when I'm at work, we don't have a computer there, only the computer for the scheduling system, and
Mhm.
I typically do not even have time to check my email. Unless someone calls and says, check your email, and then I do.
Unless you wanna wait until after Monday.
Oh, yeah, let me do that, I'm gonna wait till after you meet with
What
Pete.
kind of advice yeah, this whole tree planting is.
It's-
Are you going to Quinny this weekend to?
Yes, I'll go to, so I'm gonna go to Quinny this weekend. I never measured, when we went there last year, the distance from the fence to the tree. And that seemed like a good distance, but I'm not sure how much,
They mature trees?
No, they were new, right?
they were brand new like ours.
Hmm.
But I was under the impression that if you planted them closer to the fence, that the tree would grow up, but the tree would come out this way. But we're gonna go see and, cause I'm sure they had a professional landscaper plant those.
Yeah. And you want them
Yeah, so if you can. let
close
me
enough
know
to
this
not go
weekend.
through the chain
Yeah.
link, but close enough so you don't have to mow behind them.
Right, and,
Right,
but,
right.
so when they're fully grown.
Yes, right,
Or
right,
somewhat mature.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
okay, all right, so we got tree planting, okay, I'm just gonna go down the list.
Mhm.
Installation, send letter to Brick, okay. Installation of 2 benches and picnic table timeline.
Well, I can't tell him a timeline until the cement is poured, but I just ordered the benches and the table yesterday. So I haven't heard, he'll let me know, because I said, let me know how long is the process to order and get them in.
so.
And because, I took, what's this, Matt Cross had also given us a price for installing the benches, so I will send him a note when I find out from when Pete's gonna dig,
Yeah.
then I will tell Matt, here's the date, the holes are done, whenever you can get up there, and I will ask him to take his price for installation off. Because-
Yeah, I'm still concerned about. Justin's cost of it, his installation cost, it seems really high. But, he explained
Well,
it to you.
Yeah,
right?
I know.
Um,
But I thought about this too, then if we don't have him install it, then he's gonna have to charge us for transporting them here separately too. I just sort of thought about that. But,
it was,
because they're gonna be shipped to his warehouse, Justin Pettinelli.
Yeah,
Justin Mansfield. So the benches will go to the Pettinelli, Pettinelli, is that how you say it? The warehouse, well, they'll be assembled because they're coming they're in pieces. And then they'll assemble them. He said that he thought that would take 2 people, 2 to 3 hours to assemble these benches and tables. And then they'll deliver them and install them, and he thought that would take another 2 to 3 hours for 2 people to do. So you know,
Okay,
I
so
don't know what.
did the highway department do the first load of
Well,
benches?
see, I thought they came
No,
fully,
they didn't come.
fully assembled.
No,
So
the
I
highway,
because I remember, I thought the second day I went down and saw them in the hallway, so I thought they were.
highway
assembled.
put them together.
Yeah.
And they were actually using them to sit.
Should we ask Pete if he could assemble them again?
The benches should not be any too difficult, but the table has, you know, 3 benches on it and then has an opening side.
It, oh, I guess I keep looking online.
Well, I just told him today, I signed the quote and said, you know, that included the installation. I mean, I guess you could.
Is the table has legs, right?
I'll show you
Legs
the
that go,
Yeah,
picture.
cause if they're the same tables I have that I got from Justin,
The 4,
they can,
the 4,
are they difficult?
no.
okay. Well, that's why I kept trying to figure it out.
Somewhere I had.
Where there's just the pictures, yeah, I do too, because I just sent them to you, I think, so I
Yeah.
can,
I was
find
thinking I
them.
had them on paper too, but.
Wait a
Is there
second.
anything like the ones over here by the library? Those
I
blue
don't know
ones?
what those are. The benches or the table? No, I've got
No.
the picture here.
It's a square table.
Yeah.
With 3 benches and then one open, and the benches. Like have those tubes that come around and go up into the table.
Yep, that's what I have.
Hmm.
They don't look like they're very hard to put together.
Hmm.
I have one for a handicapped person and I have
Mhm.
one that has all 4 benches.
How much is he charging for installation?
That's like
$1,200.
the.
And he delivers them.
Well,
And we'll put him,
the-
attach him to the cement or to the concrete. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that was my, you know, I questioned that right in the beginning and then
see,
we
There,
went back and forth with that, so
the
I
table,
can't find a picture.
yeah,
Wait, I know where I have a picture.
the table is $1,295. Each bench is $612. Shipping is $916. And an installation is $1,250, and it just seems like a really high.
Where are they coming from?
I don't know. That was the one thing that went up from the benches from his original quote went up like $6 each, but the shipping went up. Quite a bit. I think. I'm trying to find,
You know, I don't like to spend money. But I think we have our hands full.
well, and was the other thing when you were saying how busy Pete and his crew are, and
And if
I
they're
just
doing
didn't know,
a
can
lot of
we
making,
ask them to do, you know, even if it's just 5 hours of work,
this
can we
guy
ask them to
in
do
there?
that? You know what? I have a paper picture of my, yeah,
Yeah,
it's those.
I don't think they're very put together. Honestly, I have that one and
did you put it together?
no, he delivered them and I got 2 of them for $1,200. Last summer. He said they were from his warehouse.
Well, you know, now, if we didn't care about what color they were, that there might have been, I know last year he said that about the benches for the, when we were looking for bench prices for the
Oh, softball.
softball, and he says, well, I have some of these in the warehouse at this color.
I got 2 blue ones from him.
Do we wanna
And he delivered them.
see if he's got anything in the warehouse? We might be able to save some money. No, I'm
I
just,
know,
I'm
I
just
know it.
asking out loud.
Sorry.
I know. Well, that's why I went back and forth, you guys, like, should I, shouldn't I, you know, should we talk, so I just did it yesterday.
Oh,
And he's been.
you sent it?
To us. and he-
Yeah, I signed the quote and said that includes, I can tell you the message I sent.
no, you know what?
That's it.
We just go with it.
He's been very helpful to us this whole time with the.
Oh my
playground.
gosh.
He's been very patient with us
No,
too.
But, so we need to um see if there's a reduction in Matt Cross's
Yes, that's what I was saying. Yeah, we'd have to, I would,
concrete, because
but I wasn't gonna contact Matt until till I know when the hole will be dug, so I could tell him the same, oh, the hole's gonna be, we'll be ready for pouring concrete on such and such a date. And by the way, can you update a quote? I just didn't, I thought,
one
one email.
communication.
Yes, yeah. He's answered back and forth so many times too. So I thought,
I just
by
think
next
we
week, we should know the
Move
answer.
forward for
Okay.
all the assistance
All
he's
right.
given us.
Yeah, he's Justin, you know what, that's a good way to think about it, because he's been, how many times did he walk down that, he came from the plateau, he walked
Yes,
around there.
Yes. And maybe,
given- He's given the slide, he donated several pieces of equipment down
Okay.
there, we just
Goodwill,
kind of,
okay,
goodwill.
so
We're
two
gonna keep
benches
him-
and picnic table, so we'll know more Monday.
Yeah, when people.
when the excavation happens, and then I'll tell Matt.
Okay.
I do remember last year, it was mid-October when those benches went in and at the round church, and he was getting a little worried, like it was gonna be too cold, so,
Okay.
but I think sounds like that will
Alright.
happen.
So we're all good on the benches, picnic table. So while we're on the benches,
I lost
It's-
my
are you-
minutes.
we're gonna kind of push Maya Bave off and let her deal with the Friends group.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. While we're here, I'd also like to just talk to you about Rebecca Downing. Her and her two sisters have money left over. They haven't had a reunion for 8 years. There's over $800 in this account. They want to donate it to our committee for benches. The only thing they ask is a little label on the bench is or picnic table or whatever generously donated by the Richmond High School Alumni Committee.
Did she specify?
But
benches?
since the benches, I thought Susan Parent did that. Here I had an idea this afternoon.
Okay,
If those benches come out of the conservation fund, wouldn't they like to purchase, donate the money towards a kiosk?
Use the-
And then there could be a little sign on there, this money donated by the Richmond. Yeah, I thought that's a
that's a great thing.
And I think their little sign would last longer on
it would,
a.
yeah, yeah.
That's a great idea.
And since I was
She
kind
didn't
of
care if it
thinking,
was benches or picnic tables. She didn't care what park it was at. But I said, wouldn't you like it at Browns Court? Because that's where the high school had their home team field.
Mhm.
She goes, oh, I never thought about that. So
What a nice sale. Good.
I met her last night at the Hill in Hardy.
oh, you're kidding me.
She's never been she was sitting at the table. I was sitting with Catherine and Rita and Bob and Kathy Manley, and next to Kathy was this woman that came with Catherine and Rita, and so I said, I'm Fran, and she introduced herself. I said, oh, $800. So,
Can I take that?
Mhm. Yeah, maybe you should take this one. That's a picture of the Huntington Gorge one. This, because I don't know if we'll need, but I should probably copy it because this is all the measurements. Like if we wanted somebody to build it, I thought that was
it's just either one is just an idea.
It's just an idea,
not
yeah.
exact.
right. Because I would think we'd have to either find a price to order one or find
I
somebody
think we could
to
probably.
build one. I think that
Build
could
one.
probably happen fairly easily.
Awesome. I'll get these back to you. So, yeah, she's gonna drop a check off or mail it to me, but I'll stop by her house and say, do you have a couple minutes? Can we talk? And I told her, so I talked to Josh. That's one of the reasons I called Josh is like, who did she make the check out to be? So I told her to make it out to the Town of Richmond 3 Parks Committee. So Josh is gonna put it in the same fund as the lawnmower. So that, and then, so when we do the open house, I would like to invite her and any Richmond High School alumni. You know,
Yes.
and so that they can do that.
And let's hope we get it built by then.
Yeah.
And if that,
Yeah,
I mean, I can. I don't even know how to go about finding estimates other than
Don't
the
you
ones that
worry.
are already built.
I
No,
got some
think we-
ideas.
You got some builders, huh?
Yeah.
I got some ideas.
Good,
I think there are enough handy
right.
people around here that
Right.
they could build it for $800
Mhm.
easy.
Perfect.
But
I will get those back to you.
I
Okay,
did,
so,
I did tell her that when I had money left from my high school in class and we decided we weren't gonna have any organized reunions, or if we did, it would be paid when you're eating, you know, and I said, I treated my high school classmates to lunch one day. And spent all of my
It's perfect.
there you go. I'm glad you told her that after she committed.
Yeah, right.
But that was wonderful. That was.
That's really sweet, yeah.
So. All
We'll
right.
get Nancy Dudell down there, graduate of Richmond High.
Oh, my God.
My mother-in-law.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
my mom's
They're
hanging
friends,
on one
right?
of those pictures over there.
yeah.
All right, so next thing, storage shed or other options. Do we want to push that to the next time agenda?
I think,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's the next spring.
Yeah. All right,
And what was the thing you wanted me and Richard, what was that for? You said you'd send him?
oh, the request for proposals, well, the
I never
All
put a
right.
single time in.
RFP.
Did you write down any times today, this time? Good for you, because I have not looked up at all.
Back to the storage shed,
Yeah, just, we want us to bid on it.
I think in the fall, when they take the nets down, I think Josh thought that there is probably enough room down here in the basement to store the nets.
And that would be something that the Friends would take down.
Well, they're gonna be the more knowledgeable about how.
And we're gonna lock it for the winter, correct?
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Yeah, lock it for the winter.
Mhm. Keep those
Okay.
keep out signs.
Right.
I should have, well, no, I don't want to put those on. Keep them for the winter.
All right, so I know you're not here, but October 4th for the trees, I know you've got plans. Someone gonna draft up something for Front Porch Forum tentatively, but don't post it.
I'll do that.
Okay, will you send it to the committee so we can
Yeah.
all take a peek and give you our input? Or if you'd like to send donations, make it out to the Town of Richmond 3 Parks Committee, seriously.
I don't think I'd do that right now.
No.
There's just that there's enough sentiment against this, how, you know, we spent that damn money on a pickleball court when it should have gone to, I mean, you know,
Yeah.
not somebody understanding that this fund is this fund, but
Okay,
I think that would not be a good
and
thing.
if they want to donate, maybe we could put a phone number or a couple phone numbers down.
Well,
that
right
they can
now,
always contact.
Yeah, we don't even know what we
people
want to
want
have
that
donated
donated.
because the pickleball folks, they are all saying they have things that they might,
We should save that avenue for that week.
Yeah, that's true.
yes.
That's true. Okay, so the shed's done, the grand opening, we've decided spring. Just a note, Terry Rainey said he'd play for $125, friends and family discount rate.
Plays bagpipe for an opening? Wow,
Just a thought.
how cool.
for $125.
Yeah, he gets $250.
Wow.
Okay.
A real
Paul Garrett's
donation is to play for
Playing
free.
for free at the round church in 2 weeks.
Okay, our next meeting,
Anything else?
Fran, do you want to get together and you and I meet the parking people up there? After,
Yes.
and maybe we can mark it out first and then meet with them?
I think I put that up above when
Okay,
you were talking
perfect.
parking before.
That was the last thing. Alright.
Nothing else?
Richard, if we go, demolition?
Yes.
Yeah.
So how about a couple
And I'd be happy
things?
to meet him at Volunteers Green and because I have no clues. I mean, whenever we get back to talking about Volunteers Green, that's an important number.
Okay, anybody have anything else we need to discuss?
So.
Well, oh, go ahead.
Sorry, with the signs for the court, Keith well, Keith's clarification, thanks. Keith's clarification, is he okay with the number of signs that we're planning to put
Yeah.
up?
Yep,
Okay, and is this gonna be affected at all by a new zoning administrator? No.
No.
His
He's the head,
interpretation
he's the
is,
head honcho.
Okay.
The new guy will be under him, so we already got the word from him. That's how I.
they look good. Thank you for putting those up.
Yes,
they're sort of, I think you call them directional signs. I forgot what his term was, that it's not like you're a business sign or.
so you want to list a couple things for the next agenda then? I mean,
Please.
do we just, yeah, what?
Approval of
just-
previous minutes,
Well, yes.
next meeting.
But what, so we
Open,
want to have,
uh,
maybe John Johnson?
Yeah, John Johnston on the Volunteers Green,
How do we go? from
Yeah.
there?
magnitude rough estimates. And I think just what you have it,
Okay, put that down, okay.
yeah.
And then it's just gonna be continue, it will be probably,
Status of Brown.
probably
State.
how did the, yeah,
And
that's
then,
gonna,
Fran
did the-
for finances. I mean, I don't want
oh,
to
yeah.
or tell you how to do your job, but is it possible to have like 4 different funds and what's come out of each fund?
Why do the other things have to be, like, it doesn't really matter what the lawnmower money's paid for, does it?
No.
Or does it really
Or
matter?
maybe if we just knew
What the-
how much was the lawnmower, how much was the donation from Richmond alumni? How much was the donation, how much was the total on, I think the RCC, and then how much have we spent of all the monies that the select board has granted us?
Cause we definitely have to keep the conservation fund.
Yeah,
separate.
definitely. But I guess all 3 pots could go in, that other 3 could go into one pot if we have the totals, the grand totals.
Yeah, that was just a question I had. I don't really know. I'm not
I kind of
saying one way or the other. Maybe I'll,
like to know, like we have 2 invoices from. Or do we have 2 or 3 invoices now from Vermont Recreation?
2.
2. So to me, I want to keep track of that. That is. For our sake,
Oh, totally.
that's ARPA money,
mhm,
or
mhm.
I
Right,
continue to
exactly.
call it that. And then, okay, the conservation fund. We know we got $12,000 to spend, but it only can be spent on hoses and.
Benches and picnic tables,
Mhm.
And the
trees.
trees, no.
And I would think anything to do with the trees, the fertilizer, the topsoil.
Depending on how much money it could go over our allocated money.
Right,
So,
exactly.
so save that lawnmower money for that.
Yeah.
And then. And then what, like the hoses came out of the Conservation Commission fund. But the locks would be coming out of the lawnmower.
Right, and the signs would be coming out of lawnmower.
Mhm.
So I can try my best to.
Yeah.
keep I
So
think
maybe
it's to
there-
our,
maybe
I
there's
think it's
better-
to our advantage to have,
Yeah,
maybe we're not to the right penny.
And even if it's a
yeah.
freaking ledger book and
No,
lawnmower.
I
money.
got a spreadsheet
Yeah,
set up, but I gotta
Okay.
go back, I just haven't gone
but if
back.
you need
Yeah,
help with
so that
those,
does make, yeah.
let me know and I'll. Did you see both invoices from Vermont Recreation?
I think I have
Perfect.
them, but
Okay, I'll get them too if you don't. And so they have one more coming and, I put the brakes on the second
Oh,
one.
do we want to invite the pickleball friends to the next meeting? We sort of talked
Yes,
about that,
yes.
but
well,
If they have their draft of what they're thinking.
Yep.
But we
Well,
don't,
they'll-
we don't have to approve it, but do we
No.
want them to share where they are?
Yeah, just
As a
for
group.
a few minutes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I have two invoices, one for 59,611, one for 63,000.
Yep,
Yeah,
and there's a little bit left.
okay. That is our ARPA money.
Yeah, we need a meeting then. Who will you invite the pickleball group? Do you want me to invite the you probably have all there.
What about
You sure gonna invite
have we
John
set a
Johnson to
date?
the next meeting? No, we did not yet.
October 16? Anybody around?
I'm here, as far as I know.
16 or 23? Third or fourth?
There's gonna be just pieces that are done. I don't, is there any decision that we're gonna have to make right away? Like,
I don't know, I feel like I've,
if the trees are going in. When?
Maybe
Maybe the fourth.
Maybe the 4th, so the 23rd is. To me, we don't have to meet that fast. We're probably taking care of a lot of things in between then, anyhow. I don't know,
Go with the
That's just a thought.
23rd.
So, the 16th.
yeah. International Space Station's going over right this moment, by the way.
so
Run outside and
what's
take a
your,
look at
what's
it.
your pleasure?
You prefer the 16th?
I would say the 16th.
Okay,
We move this, we.
yeah, we can always move it
Yeah.
if we need to. All right. Anything else we need to discuss?
Well, the other thing I was wondering, Brian Godfrey,
Right,
should I contact him?
No,
No,
that's gonna be that group.
the friends.
Yeah.
the friends. Okay.
I will have my husband contact him and just request that the trailers get parked to the left, not to the right anymore. Is that okay with everyone?
Well, that question, back to that, should we be staking that parking lot out then soon? Once the concrete and the stuff is dug? Probably once the excavation happens.
Once we
can do
open
that.
before we open the courts for use, we should have
Yeah,
a parking lot
Right.
staked out, but that is opening the courts. That's something that you run up and
right.
spend an hour.
You measure it. And I think it also gets people used to, this is where the parking lot's gonna be.
I mean, it
Mhm.
doesn't have to be exact. It just,
Right. Meeting. All right.
And I don't know if the rest of the committee heard this, but the people that did the pickleball courts for Mount Recreation, Steve, the owner, asked Fran and I if he could bid on the parking lot as well. He'd like to bid on it. So that was.
When is the parking lot going in?
when we have money.
It will go in this fall. I'm so sorry.
Well,
talked
that
to
was an
Josh.
update about FEMA money trickling
Yes,
in.
yes.
Yes.
FEMA, put FEMA there. So I talked to
I thought
Josh
that-
and
that
at the
I had
Josh, they're starting to get the money. Money's already come in from last July's flood. So money is coming in and I talked to him over a week ago about this. And so the money's coming in and then Josh was under the impression we were paving it because he goes, well, you better get going. And I said, Josh, it's not paved. He goes, oh, then you can dig anytime.
Well.
Yeah.
Good point.
So maybe we get it done late fall. And it's gonna be easy to put the request for proposal together because we have all those in the quotes from the original. We just need to sit down and take everybody that bid on the project and make sure each item is exactly what we want. You know, dig down so many inches. It's gonna be the sheathing, and then it's gonna be so many layers of crushed stone, and then blah, blah, blah. So if it's all out, it's gonna be simple to do.
So what can I tell Richard for like this fall or next spring?
It's either late fall or early spring. So if we got our act together, I mean, I know, but if we got our act together, it could happen this fall, so we could, get going in the spring.
But,
So what do we have to do before our next meeting then? Who has to do something?
well, the town has to really send out
The request
the
for proposal.
request for proposal. But I think I'd wanna understand from Josh really.
How much money has come in
Yeah,
to make sure we have enough to cover the project.
Yep.
So what he told me, he goes, oh, money's already come in, Denise. He goes, I just gotta find out if it's gonna go to you guys or the highway department.
well,
They stopped blowing shit. That roadside boarding it down the road. You pop that, there's a big hole right in the bottom of it, piece of whatever went flying right up through.
Is that right in front of Bob Marquis?
No, I was just gonna ask about, what do you know about
Yeah, right
that?
in front of Bob
We were
Marquis.
the second car behind that.
They're not quite sure if the kid was coming down in 4-wheel drive, or if he was some kind of, doesn't have like a holdback mechanism or something. So it was coming down,
They were backing out of the driveway.
no, he was coming down Richmond Hill.
the lot, the mower,
The roadside mower was, he was.
Oh, that one. I'm talking about the different one in
coming
front of
right down
Marquise. Okay.
Richmond Hill, up,
Mhm.
up, above.
I was behind that one too.
And he heard a pop. And then he couldn't stop. Or he didn't stop. He got to the bottom of, Heinsberg Road, and he finally pulled over,
Mhm.
called over, and I was like.
And the gas,
big problem, I can't move and there's fluid pouring out
It
of the
was-
bottom.
it's under warranty.
Mm.
They're very lucky it was, because it only had like a year warranty on it or something like that, so it just barely
Oh.
covered it, but they weren't gonna cover the last thing that was wrong.
Oh,
so then, is our meeting adjourned?
I was just gonna ask
I
for
move we
a
adjourn.
motion.
I make a motion that we adjourn this meeting.
A second.
All those in favor, saying bye, but saying aye.
Uh,
All those opposed?